Be mindful of what you're commenting and what you're saying up under my lives. On and off social media, I don't allow foolishness. I don't allow people to talk to me crazy and stupid. And while I am here supporting the Mitchell and Longmire family, of which they didn't ask me to do, I was led to do it. It's in my heart to do it. Because the person who needs to talk to Pamela Mitchell, that person watches. The person knows who they are, and that person watches. And that person needs to speak out. They know they do. So for the remark that I saw earlier this morning, I just blocked it. Because we're not going to have that. People are quick and easy to come in to say something or give a remark because it's not their family. Now, when time comes around, and it'll hit your family one day. Don't get upset when people make remarks that you feel like they shouldn't say because you've already done it. Nowhere in the world I'll let anyone speak death to me or anyone else that I'm supporting or anyone that I'm in the presence of. You don't do that. You don't know what state that man is in. Or do you? See, when you get to talking and talking too much, you turn the attention towards yourself. So under anything that I post, don't come in with any negativity. And I don't need anybody to vouch for me. Nobody. Let them find out for themselves. Now, to the person that has that information and you know you have it, you know you can tell Pamela Mitchell what she needs to know in regards to her son. You're not doing it. So I talked a little bit about Grace yesterday. So let me go in a little bit more in depth about Grace today. It does have an expiration date. And you do only have a certain amount of time to speak to that man's mother. God is very patient. He is very kind. When he nudges on you and give you instructions on what to do, he doesn't have to repeat himself and he's not obligated. But you know he's been speaking to you. You know he's been telling you that you need to go and give information to Lee Longmire's mother. You need to do that, and you haven't been doing it. I can't strongly encourage you not to let grace run out on you. He gives you instructions. Okay, you didn't follow. He gives you instructions again. You didn't follow. The more you ignore what God is telling you to do, then it turns into disobedience. You continue to ignore what he's telling you to do, it then turns into arrogance. And when you become arrogant with disobeying his instructions, that's when the grace comes off. Now you're exposed. Because people already know, and I'm pretty sure that family knows. I haven't spoken to them. I only know certain Longmires and Mitchells in passing from growing up, in the community. So there's no direct relationship. I don't know what conversations are going on with those families, but I know for certain those families have been talking amongst each other, and they know. They know. They pinpoint it down. They're not dumb at all. They don't have to be with him every day to know who he's around, or the possibility of who he could have been with last, even if that information was given. It don't take much. So they pinpoint it down. So make it easier on yourself. Take the burden and the stress off yourself. And just go and speak with that man's mother, whoever you are. Just do it. The one thing you don't want to do is that grace to come off of you. Because God loves us all unconditionally, because we're all his children. He knows us, and he knows how we work. He knows what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. He knows all of that. But he only extends grace to all of us for a certain amount of time, because you have time to do whatever needed to be done. You have time to follow the direction, and you don't even know the amount of time that he's given from beginning to end. It's long. I've been there. But what you don't want to do is that grace to run out and that covering to come off. Because now you put yourself in a worse predicament than what you ever could thought you could have been in. Because there's also consequence that's going to come up on you for causing further suffering of somebody else. So you have that information. Now just imagine, 1 minute you have your sight, you can see. Next minute you lost your sight. And now you need people to lead you around and guide you. What happens if no one comes to lead you around and guide you? Well, now you're just pandering around by yourself. And for what you think you could be done move distance and miles around the way, when your sight comes back, you've been in that same spot for who knows how long. That's what happens when the grace comes off. You're just wandering and meandering. Because the grace has run out. I encourage you. And if you know the significance of today, it is spring, the actual new year. If you learn the phases of the moon, you'd understand how grace runs out. Because I believe this is the waxing gibbous. It's now coming into a new moon. What is the day? Today's the 21st. And so the first is, 1, 2, 7, 8, 10 days away. We'll be coming into a new moon here soon. And with the new moon comes a lot of things. It comes a lot of blessings, a lot of revelations, a lot of new things. So if you understand how grace works, you understand the phases of the moon, you really understand how grace works. It has expiration date. It runs out. I just encourage you, don't let it run out on you. There were people who had information in regards to my son that didn't give it to me. After everything was over, there were people begging for my forgiveness. No, could you please forgive me? I was just this, I was just that, afraid or whatever. That time has passed now. It's gone now. It's after the fact. How do you think she's going to feel about that? How do you think she feels about that now? Once again, put yourself in that position. If you have children, how would you feel if you didn't know where your child was? Even for them to go outside and they get out of your sight for a few minutes, that's panic mode. Imagine 21 days. You don't know where your child is. And you know that there's somebody out there who has that information. The frustration, the hurt, the anger. And what she's feeling on the inside, she can't even express it. I know she can't. And you have that information to give it to her and you're not doing it. For every moment that you let pass and you do not assist this woman with what she needs to know, you're bringing suffrage upon yourself. You can do it. You can relieve that woman. You can relieve those families. You can relieve that mother. You can give them a great relief of just giving them the information they know. And you know you have it. You know all the details of it. You know it. I know you're afraid. That's a lot. Because it's a person who's missing. No one knows where he is. But you know the cause and the effect of it before it started, when it was going on, and after the evidence was found. His car is burned. You know all about that. I understand the fear because that's a lot. That's a lot of information, and that's a lot of pressure. But it has to be told. Why do you think you're the only one who knows? Because you're the one who's supposed to tell it. Yeah, you're going to have assumptions of people saying that, yeah, you had your hand in it, you did it, or whatever. How could you know all of that if you didn't have anything to do with it? There's many circumstances that can come into play with that. Many. But you have the information that you need to give this mother to relieve her of that, to relieve the family of that, of where he is. You have the power to do that. Just do it afraid. Just do it afraid, but just don't not do it. Their mother needs you. Their family needs you. You think it's bad now. Imagine the outcome once they do find him and they find out that you are the one who could have just ended all this way before time. You worrying about people hating you, not liking you, that this thing they will have for you then could be far beyond what you could imagine. In my instance, yes, there were people who could have stopped what went on with my son just by speaking, and they didn't. And when I found that out, I still can't explain it. But I don't want it for this mother. There are so many others like me who don't want this for her. And we all know, because even though our circumstances may not be the same, but they are similar. But we know in these cases, it's always someone that knows the family, someone who's been in contact with the family, someone who's been around the person who's suffering. They have information, and you're not talking. There's still sunlight. I implore you again, do not let the sun set another day and you have not contacted this man's mother. The mother. Not a cousin, the uncle or aunt. None of them. The mother. The mother is who you need to speak to. It is 3:35. I believe the sun sets. Now I believe it sets like 7, 8 o'clock, something like that. 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere through there. You got time to contact her. And I know you see me. I know you watching these videos. I know you looking at the family's posts. You going through the comments. You doing all that. I know you doing it. What you're not doing is talking. You need to speak. Speak to that man's mother. And once again, I'm going to leave the comments open. I'm not going to close them. The family, they need support. And once again, no, they didn't ask me to do this. I'm led to do this. I'm not in contact with any of them. And once again, don't make any foolish comments on here. Nothing about death, anything negative. If you're not saying anything positive, don't post it. Don't comment on there. And I don't need nobody to, take up for me or speak for me or confirm anything in regards to me of how I correct people on and off social media. You put something negative on here, and I'm going to correct you right where you stand, just as if you were physically standing in front of me. Now, that comment this morning, I just deleted it and blocked that person. But if anybody else comes on here and do that, I'm going to correct you right there where you stand. You was bold enough to type it, and you bold enough to get correction. This is for the purpose to help that family, to help that mother. They have a family member missing. Now, I don't know how that don't connect or how you don't understand the seriousness of that. A man is missing. Family member gone. They don't know where he is. And you get the balls to come here on calm down. Don't get the balls to come over here and say anything negative. I will correct you. So you either speak positive, don't speak at all. Scroll by. Be mindful of how you deal with the Mitchell and the Longmire family. Be mindful. Be helpful. And lastly, to that person who has that information that you know you need to give to that man's mother, you have about 4.5 hours of sunlight left. Do not let another sundown come and you have not spoken to that man's mother.